Hi, welcome to Diary of a Tent Wife and welcome to the first this week in Elephant Ethology. I'll be giving an overview of studies, stories and social media concerning elephant behaviour this week.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day.
For careers advice and behind the scenes of living and working in conservation, please subscribe to my channel and click on that bell notification so you get informed of when I release a new video. Welcome to the first and in fact double edition of This Week in Elephant Ethology, where I'll be chatting about and giving an overview of this week's stories, studies and social media around elephants and elephant behaviour. You may have noticed that I've been really quiet on my channel and on social media in the last 6 weeks now, as our baby daughter was born on the 31st of May. Our baby came a little bit early, so I didn't quite have the amount of time I wanted to edit and put up the videos that I kind of filmed while I was still on camp. And yeah, the last 6 weeks have been a bit of a blur, to be honest. Anyone who's had a newborn baby will tell you the same, and especially a colicky baby. Yeah, it's been busy and tiring. So yeah, I just haven't had enough time to put together the videos, so I thought I'd introduce you to this new series I'm doing while I kind of edit and get together the other videos that I'm due to put up on this channel. So this is just going to be a very kind of quick what's going on. It'll vary in length from week to week depending on what's going on. This first one is actually a double edition, as things got a bit difficult last week, so I didn't actually manage to put up the first one, but I think that there's a lot of interesting things that's been going on, so I'm going to do this as an introductory double edition. So I've got my phone with me. I'm going to share my screen so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, and everything that I'm showing I'll link below. So this is just kind of an overview for then you to go and have a look at what you're kind of interested in. So obviously the big story in the last couple of weeks has been the elephant deaths in Botswana. So reports on the number of deaths have really varied, from between 275 to 400 from I think March. Some of the early ones were, so yeah, hundreds of elephants found dead in Botswana. Completely unprecedented. 350 elephant carcasses was the first story that I saw. So the reason why I'm interested in this from a behaviour point of view is the symptoms that the elephants have been exhibiting shortly before their death. So they've been reported to be running around in circles, appearing confused, suffering from neurological symptoms.
Whatever it is affecting the nervous system of these elephants, because you're seeing them dying either very quickly, dropping onto their fronts, or moving around in a confused manner with some form of neuronal impairment.
It's been both sexes and all ages. Other animals have not died. Scavenger species that have fed on the elephant carcasses have not been impaired, they've not died. There's obviously been a lot of politics around Botswana's elephants. They have a very strong population, but they have had issues in the past couple of years with increasing human-elephant conflict, which is a problem faced by many countries that have elephants. It has, however, been in the media more recently with Botswana, with some controversial decisions made over hunting. I think the biggest thing to note in this story is that all the elephants have had their tusks on there, so it's not kind of a big poaching incident. If they were poisoned, then other animals would have also been poisoned. So in the past, poachers have poisoned elephants with cyanide to take their tusks, and then obviously other species have died. That hasn't happened in this instance. Their tusks are still on. So it suggests, though, not foul play for poaching for ivory. The other possible cause of elephant deaths on this scale could be anthrax. However, it's the wrong time of year for anthrax.
Founder and Director of Elephants for Africa, Dr. Kate Evans.
It's not unheard of to have die-off of elephants and, of course, other species. And one of the likely candidates at first was anthrax, which is common in Botswana, but it's the wrong time of year for that. So that has been ruled out. And that we did have an outbreak in November of last year. So that was ruled out because we've since had good rains. And I'm sure the avenues being investigated are likely to be a bacteria infection or indeed a virus.
Some elephant-specific virus, but it's obviously very important for the elephant population and for other animals and for the humans in the area as well. And, you know, in light of COVID and what's going on globally, this mystery needs to be solved as soon as possible. As of yesterday, I think they have had test results back from Zimbabwe, but they're keeping them close to their chest until they get other results back from South Africa to see if they are the same, different, to see what they're dealing with before they release this to the media. So from that big news story, if we jump on to any studies that have come out recently, same country, looking at Botswana, and we have Panic at the Disco. Solar powered strobe light barriers reduce field incursion by African elephants. Great title. It's looking at human elephant conflict and ways to prevent that. As we all know, elephants are incredibly clever, and any kind of tactics to keep them out of maize fields or vegetable fields or anything that elephants really want to get to, they're so clever, it's very, very difficult for them not to kind of get used to the measure, whether it be banging against pots, making loud noises, firecrackers, bees, polywire fencing, chilies. Like, there's a lot of things that elephants then get used to and they begin not to have any effect anymore. So these researchers looked at using kind of disco flashing lights on the edge of fields that were affected by human-elephant conflict. So they did this over a 2-year period, working with farmers on the edge of the national park. So they found the elephants were less likely to enter the fields with strobe lighting than with the control, so with no mitigation tactic. So it kind of points at that being a use for human-elephant conflict. But as I said, elephants get so used to certain measures that you really have to kind of keep trying multiple ones and mix them up and not rely on one for too long. So although this kind of will work for a little bit, then it might kind of need some other things as well. So next, moving on to social media and the top kind of videos, pictures or kind of posts that I've seen in there over the last 2 weeks this time. So one big thing, obviously, I will be covering a lot of kind of elephant organizations and anything that's kind of jumps out to me. It just happens that the first kind of thing that jumped out is from a GRI. So this is the introduction of 2 new rescue orphaned elephants. This is them joining the nursery herd.
We let the rescues out of their stables. This was to just help them get used to their new environment, calm down. They played around a little and they settled down in their new environment. We saw a lot of interactions over the stables going on. You can see Lani interacting with the little ones and the little ones being very keen. It was such a relief that the first interactions we saw were very submissive and respectful, which enabled the little Ellies to be quickly accepted into the herd.
Looking at some of the behaviours and how they settle in, it's always a really interesting time when new elephants join the herd or when elephants move from the nursery to the release facility. It's always a really, really interesting time on the behaviour side. So here, the interactions between the 2 new elephants and the existing nursery herd, really, really interesting, really, really encouraging. They're very kind of a lot more relaxed than you might expect. Obviously, everyone's kind of a bit, you know, who are these new elephants? And the younger elephants are obviously kind of a little bit nervous, but they are really interested and smelling and trying to greet the other elephants. We saw some interesting kind of submissive behaviours where one of the new rescues had immediately turned around and showing his vulnerable side, so his rear, to Ludaka's the biggest elephant at the nursery, and we saw some very respectful behaviour. So it's kind of showing the most vulnerable side to that bigger elephant and kind of elephant etiquette is very important for when you're meeting new elephants. So these new rescues did very well initially when they met the other elephants, and it's just lovely to see them interacting so quickly with the existing nursery herd, which will help with their recovery.
So overall, we are really happy with how this first introduction went, and we are so excited.
Cute, I can't wait to meet them. It's a cute little video of a baby elephant who is chasing birds away, making himself or herself, can't really tell, look really big and scary. Play is so important for elephants. Just having a playful nature when they're kind of below 6 months, as I think this elephant is definitely below 6 months, that's their kind of most playful time, whether they're playing with each other or in the environment. Yeah, it's really, really important for their development. You'll find that even in times of drought, when there's very little food around and everything is kind of like about core saving your energy, you'll find baby elephants still play a lot, showing how important it is for long-term survival. Like if it wasn't important, they wouldn't do it at those times. They would kind of conserve their energy. It would be too energetically costly to continue that rate of play behavior, but it's so important for their development later on. I love looking at playful elephant videos, as does many other people, as this has been watched 16.2 thousand times. So while I was searching for elephant videos, something kind of spiked my interest about Orphan Elephant releasing videos, so I had a look at it.
This is Chadoba, a boisterous adolescent bull elephant.
So this is actually a documentary that was filmed with us in 2015. I'm not really sure what this site is, so I don't know how long it's going to be up there, but I'll put the link below. I can't actually even remember the film crew that originally did it. I'll find it out and add it in the description. Yeah, but it's got the keepers, it's got the orphan elephants, it's got me and Theo in it as colouring. It's kind of nearly an hour documentary, so yeah, I'll link that below and you can have a look at that if you're interested. It was up, obviously it's an old documentary, but it was uploaded recently. So there we go, that's kind of all of the interesting things I think that the top interesting things that I found recently to add. If you'd enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Join me next week for This Week in Elephant Ethology. Thanks, bye.